Hey AWOL and Big Dog, leave a comment on Grotto's video saying how awesome I am.
Whatever. Hi everyone, I'm Grottos, and welcome to the Best Start 3. This is episode 20, believe it or not, and we're going to make some turbo motors. But before we do that, I just wanted to show you the power, because I added to it. So we have 51,000 power coming in, and that was because we got the Mark 3 miners now, and I upped the compact coal and finished off the turbo fuel. So that's done. So I knew we were going to need more power. We might really need more power again. I'm not sure. We're going to see what happens. But for now, let's go ahead and make some turbo motors. So, because I really want this kind of be a cluttered area a little bit, I'm trying to fill in a little bit of space, but also leave some of these green spaces open. So I thought right here would make a good spot for some turbo motors. So I did put in some truck stops, and I'll show you a little bit about what I did. I kind of just came off of here with these foundations, and I put in a truck stop right here. That's going to be for cooling systems. And this one over here is for some rubber. Over here, we have turbo motors. So we're going to be putting in 2. They're going to be making 3 per minute. We might up this later on. I did up the cooling systems and the Fused Modular Frames eventually, because we needed to. But anyway, this is what we need, and this is where we're going to build. I'm pretty sure these guys are going to stay where they are, and we're going to have to add some more drones for some other parts and stuff like that, because we need motors and radio controls. So we do have the rubber coming in the cooling systems with the trucks, but we want to add some drones, and I believe I showed you that in one of the other episodes. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get some of this stuff kind of worked out, and I'll be back. Alright, so I did put in some drones. They are not named yet, but we will bring in radio controls and the motors. That's what we're going to do. So I think we'll put the motors on this side, and they're going to drop in. Let's come down in here, because we have a nice underneath piece here. So that'll come in, and we also have a drone up front, for fuel. We need to bring in fuel. So we'll put another fuel up there, which will be fuel port 2, and that'll bring us fuel here for these guys to keep going. So anyway, I split these guys where the motors are going to come in, and these are the cooling systems now, and the rubber. That's what's coming in now, and then we're going to split in, probably up here on top, the motors and the radio controls. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm trying to make these episodes a little shorter, and that is because you guys have seen me connect stuff, build stuff so much that sometimes I feel like it gets monotonous for you. And so I'm going to cut ahead to the next step. So I'll be back. Alright, so here we got motors for turbo factories. We have that coming into a buffer here. And that's going to push out to this side, come across, and go right into this machine. And then we got our radio controls coming into here, which again we put a buffer. And that's going to go down. Wow, I just took one. Go down this line and go across to that one. And now we are making our turbo motors. Those, I have 2 storage bins here for them. And this way, while we're building other things, they'll fill up, and when we need them, we'll have them. I put steps here. I'm thinking that's what I'm going to go with this. And then I think we'll be able to put another one of these drone ports on this side, eventually, to output these guys to wherever they need to go. Because once we get that going, we can work on the third phase for part, which is thermal propulsion motors or something. I don't know, whatever they are, but we're going to be able to set those up too at the end here. So anyway, I think building style, I think, obviously, we're going to cover this up. Maybe what we'll do is we'll go into here. We'll grab some... I don't like the traditional doors. So maybe we'll just put one there and one there. And do some roll-up doors, maybe? And maybe I'll do that way. Come on. And flip that way. So they kind of roll that way towards the middle, which is fine because it's like an accordion style, so it works fine. They go inside each other. So you could put them on either side. But I think I did the advanced aluminum going one way, and I'm going to do this going this way. And I think what we'll do is we'll do this in this either carbon steel or black. And I just colored something, I think. It's fine. It's fine. I didn't color anything. Walls. I think I'm going to do something a little different with this one. Let's go into our 1 meter walls. Let's zoop this because that would take all day. So that would be 8 high. We could do this maybe in the yellow. And we could come across here. Let's do that. Probably put some windows in here. Let's see. We'll take these out. And let's see about a window. Possibly these? Maybe painted black? Like that? Yeah, I kind of like that. That wouldn't be a bad idea. I think I'm going to try to incorporate this guy here in here somehow. Like this. I think that would be good. And then, like I said, I got these staircases going down. Maybe we will put some of these walls in here. Like so. And maybe we'll do some glass. So you can oversee... maybe what's going on in the factory? Something like that, maybe. Yeah, I like that. Over here. Let's see, if we take these... we come up to here. We'd need some kind of... something, because we don't have a half a wall. Like, it's annoying. But if we take this door, possibly... let's sit it on top of here. We could do something like that, but I don't like the metal. So I think I would do that. And then maybe paint that carbon steel black. And maybe instead of keeping all these walls yellow, we could possibly, because we do have these sections here, we can maybe do like a stripe down it. That wouldn't be bad. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna probably continue making this wall all the way around the building and encasing these guys somewhat inside the building as much as possible. And yeah, I think that'll work really nicely. So let's see, I'm gonna go up like that. That'll close up that nicely. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, so this is what I came up with the walls. I think it looks good. It's not too yellow, but it does incorporate the colors of the turbo motor. Over here, I did set this up so this way we have these doors here. And we do have this, but I feel like this is wasted space. So I think I might go around and change these guys over to like some staircases. Because you can't really walk through, well, you can walk through here, but it's a very tight space. Wouldn't be bad doing catwalks around the whole outside. And kind of doing that, but I really do like the way the port is incorporated in the building, like it's part of the building. And then you can interact with these. There is a staircase here. That goes nowhere. I'm wondering, we open that up. That looks pretty good. We could do that. And this kind of fits in with the whole theme. I like that. So you can actually go up the stairs as well. We actually don't even need this door here. But I don't know. I might leave it anyway because I do like the door. I wish there was some kind of railing that went across here. I don't, just like this side, it makes sense. But there isn't, so it is what it is. And I'm pretty sure we can't put railing on here. I mean, we can try, but I don't think it will work. Nope, it won't snap to that. Nope. Well, fine, it's fine. With safety first, but I guess it doesn't work. Anyway, I put some glass over these guys, so this way when I go to do the roof, we could kind of square this off. Now, usually I don't use the roofs that it comes with, but I might do that with this one. Almost maybe like a 2. Maybe we do an overhang here, right? Like from here. I gotta zoom it. Something like that. This could be yellow. Yeah, we could do that. And then we could take this roof, not on the corner, but here. Let's just paint this either carbon steel or, yeah, I think the carbon steel is fine. And go down to there. And then if we go back in, we have these 2-meter corners here. How does that work? That's not the right one. Let's see. There it is. You could do something like that. And paint it. Yeah, I think that'll work. So I'm gonna finish off the roof and do some of this catwalking in here, and I'll be back. Alright, so I set up the other drone port. This is for our turbo motors to leave, and that is so our next project, which we're gonna do this episode, is to start those thermal propulsion rockets. I think they are. I don't know what they are. Actually, let's take a look really quick here. They are a manufacturer for sure. And let's jump in and, yep, thermal propulsion rocket. That's it. So that's what we're going to be doing next. So we're going to take these turbo motors and we're going to bring them over to there. I put an elevator in, and that is because we had no way of getting into the building. This has no power, so I'm going to have to pull power. Probably from, well, let's see, we got power here. Let's come to there. I'm just gonna grab that and we'll scoot down here. We'll throw it in down there, and then I can open up this floor here, and we'll take that, bring it over to there, and connect that to that. Okay, we can put that back. We can put that guy back. And we can put this guy back. Alright, so now we can take the elevator up. Alright, so here's our turbo factory. And I left those door openings there. I just like them. They're another way to get up and into here, which is nice. But over in here, I did make these staircases, which I like, that go down. And if we go back up, there's a nice little catwalk. So now all these little square boxes on the corner have a purpose. They kind of go down and they work quite nicely from here. And we have this catwalk going across. Put some lights in, and it gives it sort of like a warehousey aluminum building look. I don't mind that. And then the lights do come through on the roof, but I don't mind that. That kind of gives the roof a little character. I was thinking possibly we could, let's go into architecture. Is it arc? Yeah, we got these large vent fans. We could put some of those on just to vent some of this toxic fumes out of there. Actually, let's do this one there and this one there. Get rid of that one. And maybe, just maybe, we paint these yellow and black. I don't mind those. And I put that one in the wrong spot. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It goes right there. That's fine. All right, so that works nicely. So anyway, let's go ahead over to the space elevator parts and figure out what we need for these thermal propulsion rockets and get a drone set up to receive them. There's our other fuel port to bring in the fuel here. And yeah, let's go ahead and do that. All right, so here we are here. We need to bring in turbo motors, cooling system, and fused modular frames. So the turbo motors we just set up. The advanced aluminum is there. That has the cooling systems and the fused modular frames. And these modular engines, that is what we were making over in this guy, which should be over in here. So I think I paused the production, did I? It just stopped because it's full. And yeah, we still have these guys adaptive control units making these, which we're done with. And over here, these were making our magnetic field generators. Those over here, we have plenty of those. We needed 500 and 500. These we only need 250. So yeah, I'm going to have to set up this drone port for the turbo motors. And I'm going to have to set up a train to go from the advanced aluminum to here to bring the cooling systems and the fused modular frames. I would set up trucks. I think we just have too many trucks for one. For two, there's not really a good spot to put a truck stop in here, but I think we could squeeze a train in here. So I'm not going to show you all that. I've showed you how to set up trains multiple times. And yeah, I'll be back. All right, so I set up the train here. This is bringing in the fused modular frames. And this should bring in those cooling systems. I have them coming through here with a bit of buffering on both sides. Right here and right here. They're getting up here and here to go into our machine up above. Now let's go above. Over here we have some storage here. And then over here, this is where those modular motors were. And over here, these are the turbo motors coming in from the port above here. So this is turbo motors. And yeah, that it works. It works well. I don't need a buffer really for the turbo motors. Could I put it in? I may put one in, but I don't think it's necessary. But I could drop one in right over in here, and that would be fine too, just to have a little buffer. So if you want a buffer on both sides of, say, your ends of what you're bringing in, what you're bringing out, it's very simple. We could just simply do this. Is that touching that? No, it's not. Is it? No. This guy, we're going to drop him down a little different. Ooh, sorry about that camera angle. Let's just grab a, I think I'm lagging a little bit, and I think it's just the cardiograph. Sometimes it just takes forever to load. Okay, so that is our input. That's our output. That's where we want to be. Alright, I think that lag went away, which is good. Is that going to match up with that nicely? Not really. So I think what we'll do is we'll point them both back. There and there. And then we'll take this belt here. And let's press R. Can we do it straight? Yes. And then we'll bring this to there. And then we'll just color this in with this. And this will give us a nice little buffer for our turbo motors, which I like. We could throw those in there because we had some extras there. And these guys, once they fill up, we'll have we have We already have 150, almost 200, which is, we only need 250. But these are good to sync. A lot of these space elevator parts are worth quite a bit of tickets. So let me show you the train station over by the advanced aluminum, because that wasn't set up before and now it is, and you'll be able to see what I've done. So this used to be our biomass setup. It still is, and the roof is, it's fine. The roof is right there. It's fine. I enclosed it. It looked terrible sitting right here. But anyway, our truck stop, whoa, there goes our train. Our truck stop is still under here, right in here. And our turnaround for that stupid fuel truck is there. I don't know if you know that, but in my last episode, I have a fuel truck that just wants to turn around over here for some reason. It's ridiculous, but it happens. But anyway, our truck stop still works. The trucks still come in with no problem. I kind of really like this a lot. We have this guy. This is where our biomass is, but we could drop down here with our stuff. I can actually fill this back up with this, and that would be fine too. We could put some kind of wall holes in there for them. We could actually add this light back there and then just leave that open, so that's fine. So anyway, we got some lighting down here. That looks pretty good. We go upstairs. It was just enough space that these trucks did not clip into the trains, which is perfect. And I think what we'll do is we'll cover these guys up as well. Let's zoom this. There we go. I'm stuck now in here. Of course I'm stuck in here. What else is new? Alright. And our trains. So we have our trains picking up the cooling systems. I'm gonna go upstairs though. I do want to show you one thing. So we weren't making a lot of these guys here. I actually upped this up. I brought in so I split the train. I'm gonna have to show you downstairs. But anyway, I'm summer slooping these guys too. So I'm making 18 and 18 now. Plenty of cooling systems, which is great. And then over here, I am actually making, let me get up there, 6 and 6, so we're making 12 over here because I'm summer slooping. I wanted to get some extras of these guys, so this way we wouldn't have any kind of hang-ups or anything like that. Downstairs, let's get in the building here. I did want to show you, because if you're following me, which a lot of you are, I broke up these guys into 300s. So they were only bringing in around 420, something like that. And I wanted to up this to the 600 so we could use the full 600 to get a little squeeze a little bit more of the cooling systems and the whatchamacallits, the Fused Modular Frames. Over here, what I did was I had to split, watch out for the train, we had to split this up. So over here originally I had 3 of them set up at 600, but I split the 600s to 300s, so one goes into here and here. And then I made another train station that will have 1200, because we're going to need that going forth, because we're going to need more nitrogen gas. They are split underneath, so that is fine, and that is fine. So let's talk about what we're going to do in the next episode, because we got quite a bit of stuff going on and we're doing quite well. Let's go to the hub and see what we got to do next. Alright, so now we have to unlock this particle enrichment. I don't think I put a dimensional depot on turbo motors, so I'm going to have to go pick them up. But everything else we should be able to grab. So I'm going to get everything we need. I'm going to select this milestone, and then we'll talk about what we need to do. Alright, so here we are. We are ready to send everything out. Let's do it. And now we unlocked particle enrichment. We got nitric acid. packaged nitric acid, non-fissile uranium, plutonium pellets, encased in plutonium cells, plutonium fuel rods. We're not going to do any of those things. Nuclear, I did in my first best start. If you want to check it out, I do have a playlist. Particle accelerators, copper powder, pressure conversion cubes, nuclear pasta, and plutonium waste, which we won't have. So it's these 4 things that we're going to be using: the particle accelerators, copper powder, pressure conversion cubes, and nuclear pasta. So, copper powder. We're going to have to look for a lot more copper nodes because we're going to need a lot more copper. We're going to be using those minor 3s, the Mark 3s, because, yeah, we're going to need a lot of copper. So I'm just going to scan for copper before we get off and just see where we're going to have to drag in more copper. Now, a lot of these are already claimed. We might have to go further away. It looks as though that the only ones coming up are the ones that are already claimed. I'm going to start heading towards the east and the north and see if there's any more copper up here, so we don't keep picking up the ones we already are claimed. So let's see, the ones that are already claimed, you know what I'm saying. Don't worry about it. Let's come over to here. We'll get up here. I'm gonna lose electricity really quickly soon, I think, or maybe that train station's holding me up. I don't know. There we go. I'm falling. All right. Let's go ahead and use our jetpack here. And let's get up here. Let's scan for some more copper. I know I'm using that copper right there. We might actually have to go to the west. But let's just see what I can find over here. Anything good? So that one's going to come up immediately. I knew that. That one's already claimed. That's claimed. All of these are claimed. Alright, well, I thought maybe we could find a good copper spot before we got off, but I think I'm going to have to do some hunting. So I will leave this episode off here. And guys, if you like my content, like, subscribe, comment, share. Do all those good things. It really does help me so much. And I really appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are amazing. I have 9 members now. You guys have given me super thanks, which is I'm just overwhelmed with how grateful I am and appreciative I am of each and every one of you. So thank you again. And I do have those memberships, 99 cents, $2.99. With the $2.99, you get a shout out after every episode, just like coming up next. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.